What happens when you run a search using Google? Is the experience scientific or magical? If your answer is scientific, then like many of us, you are a victim of technology's trickery. Science has become our religion, and as it improves, it separates our minds from our bodies, preventing us from attaining real spiritual experiences. We have become believers of science, blind to the underlying magic and mysticism behind our technology. The computer has in many ways become essential to our daily lives. In the early days of personal computers, they were designed for work, but over time, they have become much more recreational. The computing experience is no longer just available to professionals, but to a much larger audience. Most of us spend several hours a day hunched over a keyboard working, communicating, or entertaining ourselves. In a lot of ways, a computer has become an electronic sanctuary. It's a place where you can keep your belongings organized and safe from the outside world. Much like how sanctuaries and temples were built as physical representations of religious individuals, computers today are designed as technological representations of ourselves. Connecting to the internet is stepping into a different realm, a magical, open, untamed space. All scientific rules and bodily limitations disappear, and you begin your hallucination. An experience not that different from a traditional shaman's spiritual experience of mythic realms via drugs or trance states. You explore this data palace, opening its many doors and experiencing the memories of the collective mind. A library on steroids, where the knowledge you seek is only a click away in its endless terrain. One of the most basic elements of human society is the tradition of storytelling. In today's society, television and film has become a modern-day example of oral tradition. In the early days of cinema, people went to the theater to consciously or unconsciously take part in an experience together. That experience of becoming a part of a story was exciting, which ultimately built a stronger community.
Ordinary, and that's coming from somebody who does this.
All your secrets are safe.
Well, of course, that's it.
Always make it up to me, but he never.
You see what I see. I see love what you see.
The passing on of cultural customs and tradition has been elevated through the visuals of television and film. The cell phone is not uncommon in this day and age. People of all ages and walks of life own them. The cell phone is a sentient being, a little thing of voices from beyond that we talk to and talk to us. Making or receiving a phone call is no different than experiencing a seance. You listen to spirits, speak to the spirits, and relay messages to them. Do we talk to the phone or through the phone? The invention of the broadcast radio extended the human voice to reach a larger area than ever before. Before the radio, stories, musical performances, and other communication was often limited to the span of primitive acoustics. Radio connected ears and minds with a line attached to a magical box, allowing the user to pick which voice or spirit to listen to. Listening to one channel presents one reality. while different stations allow listeners to discover different worlds with a push of a button. The radio connects people forming communities of shared interest, including music to one of the many forms of storytelling. This magical box amplifies the human voice beyond the vibration of a human's vocal cords, but also breaks them apart from the purity of communication face to face. What makes video games so addicting? When you pick up the controller, you enter a fantasy world, rendering the real world meaningless.
Joe, fuck that shit. Oh, come on! Ah!
What makes video games magical is your ability to create your own story, discovering the unknown in a dream that feels so real. 3D graphics brought video games to another level, giving a deeper dimension of the virtual world. Myst created an imaginary world based on exploration through nonverbal storytelling. The nonlinear lure of Myst has been captured by popular role-playing games such as World of Warcraft, which uses the internet to connect to users from around the world. The multiplayer game, World of Warcraft, creates a magical gaming experience which is always unique and controlled by unknown forces. There is magic all around you. Wake up.